The composer of Dying Light 2 Stay Human spoke in detail about the subtleties of modeling the game's musical accompaniment. Recently, we have talked a lot about the action game Dying Light 2, Stay Human, touching on a variety of gameplay aspects. Today it's our turn to discuss the music written by composer Olivier de Riviere. He shared interesting features of the soundtrack he is developing in his microblog. The most important thing to know about the soundtrack is that it will adapt to the player's actions. For example, in an open world, if the player is not just running, but doing parkour, the tempo of the music will increase. At the very moment when the player reaches the desired inertia, the music flow will reach its peak. The composer called it parkour flow. It can stop at any time together with the gamer. When you encounter an enemy, the music will not turn on immediately, and the game will only encourage its user when they enter the battle. Recall that in Dying Light 2 there are several enemy factions, each of them has its own soundtrack. When a particularly dangerous enemy appears in a particular fight, the virtual composer will quickly switch to covering a fight with a strong opponent. Of the very small details and subtleties of the local soundtrack, it is important to note the following. Each class in the open world has its own musical theme. Music can track the player's progress in a particular activity. Standing on the roof in an open world, the gamer can hear a special soundtrack, which will include notes of the anthem of the dominant faction in this territory. When moving in the open world to the next point in the story quest, the player will hear the song for the corresponding task. If you leave the mission, the music may stop at any time. We will remind, Dying Light 2, Stay Human should be released on PC and consoles on February 4th.